In tonight's Tax Insider, reinsurance. That's a type of transaction where the insurer collects a premium, then agrees to protect a company against all or part of the loss that company sustains under the policies it has issued. In short, it's insurance for insurance companies. Here to explain is Ryan Alexander, president of the non-partisan Taxpayers for Common Sense. Ryan, you're following a bill introduced by Republican Representative WJLA of Florida. It would create a new federal reinsurance backstop. Explain that for us.
Essentially, the bill that Representative Jolly's introduced is a bailout for state-run insurance programs. And in this instance, there's only one state that would benefit from that program, and that's Representative Jolly's home state of Florida.
Now, Florida has a track record here of state-run reinsurance. Explain the Florida Hurricane Catastrophe Fund. And when you say that Florida is the only state, I'm sure it's because of all these storms?
Right. Florida established a state-run catastrophe fund that provides subsidized insurance for homeowners. It's about $17 billion in the hole.
Wow.
So it's got a big set of liabilities on its books, and it's in better shape than it was. But they know that there are more storms coming. They know there are more losses coming, and so they're looking for a way to make sure that they can protect themselves and kind of hold themselves harmless from the losses that they set up.
Now, reinsurance is not unique to the states. Uncle Sam maintains a federal flood insurance program, a federal crop insurance program, and a temporary terrorism insurance program. Why do these exist?
You know, when the federal government gets into the insurance business, it's essentially a way to try to say, we think people are not taking risks that we need them to take as a society. We think we need people to keep going, and we need them to keep farming, so we're going to provide crop insurance. We need them to keep doing business in the face of terrorism, so we'll provide terrorism insurance. But what is missing about that analysis is that people really do continue to do things and take risks when they've got reason to do it. They can assess their own risks, and better yet, the insurance industry and the reinsurance industry can price those risks. The market has a kind of great ability to price risk, and that, you know, can factor into how people make decisions. The crop insurance example is a great one where, you know, almost no other type of business enjoys this kind of protection.
Really?
Crop insurance provides revenue insurance. So you may have a fine crop year, prices may be high, but if it's not what you expected, you still get payment from the federal crop insurance program.
Now, what role does the private sector play in this discussion?
So the private sector is ready, willing, and able to provide reinsurance for all these types of activities, particularly in the case of flooding and natural catastrophe. They see this as something where they have experience looking at the big picture, knowing where the risks are coming, and pricing them accordingly. So flood insurance, as a federal level, kind of has encouraged risky development in floodplain areas, and the reinsurance industry says, you know what, we could price this risk accordingly. We're not saying people won't still build on the coast. People like to look at water. Businesses like to be there, but we're going to tell them what the real cost of doing business is there. And the insurance companies think that by looking at data, doing the kind of analysis they do, they can figure out a way that they can make money by sharing risk, and they can tell businesses this is what you need to be prepared for.
All right, Ryan, before you go, I'd like to talk about the buzz around a federal cyber insurance program. We all know the threats of cyber attacks are on the rise. Is it time for a federal cyber insurance program?
You know, I think this is another instance where the idea that we would do something to just provide an initial kind of protection against risk is something that would lead to a subsidy that would be on the books for a long time. Absolutely, risk of cyber attacks exists, but every single week you can see a new article about a new insurance company or reinsurance company that's ready to get into that marketplace. This isn't a place where the private sector isn't providing any services. They just want to make a little bit of money on those services. And if we provide a subsidy, then we may never know the real cost of those risks.
That's a good point. Ryan Alexander, president of the nonpartisan Taxpayers for Common Sense. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks.